Well,
oh, that's not to be done on your warm-up.
That's not good.
Oh, I tell you what, that was as close as it ever comes.
That's Ian Lowry.
It's Lowry down, yeah. Ian Lowry has gone down. That's a disaster. Ian Lowry, wow. Ian Lowry, third in the championship at the moment. He won the opening round at Brands Hatch. Well, he's got to run back now. Let's take another look at this, Neil, because lost the front end coming down Cascades. And just watch what happens next.
Fast part of the track there.
Dear me, he's got a long way to go, but that is as close as it ever comes. I didn't even pick up who that was that just missed him, but he must have been right out on the grass. Little gap to be able to take some advantage, but of course there are penalties for jump starts, so you can't afford that. The reds rise. Well, I'll tell you what, the review, were a bit anxious there. We'll be keeping an eye on whether we get any penalties coming through. Bit of pushing and shoving down into turn one. Who's it going to be at Old Hall?
Adam Jenkinson looks like got in there first.
Oh, everyone going out towards the grass. It's slippy out there. So down towards Cascades. This was where Ian Lowry lost the front end. No such problem for Adam Jenkinson. Adam Jenkinson out front on what we must consider his home round. Down towards Lakeside, on towards Island Corner. Lowry from 42, Adam Jenkinson from Brendan Roberts. Into the hairpin for the first time.
Although they have 2 warm-up laps, of course they're not at racing pace, and still these tyres have to get up to temperature, so still another couple of laps into the race before the tyres are up to their optimum temperature.
12 laps, a long way to race these motorcycles. We're at Britain Chicane for the first time. Take another look at this.
Turn one.
Turn one, it really was a bit of a barge session. Oh, that's Billy
McConnell getting pushed wide there on the Animal Dunlop bike. The championship leader is on that different bike.
On the yellow bike, because he is effectively wearing the yellow jersey, because he is the championship leader. That's why that motorcycle is in different colours, for those of you that haven't been paying attention in previous broadcasts. Up and over Clay Hill for the first time on lap 1. Interesting that they're still pulling something like 150.
Brendan Roberts underneath Adam Jenkinson there, just going into Druids. Fairly brave passing manoeuvre.
Obviously carrying loads of corner speed. The only way you manage to get up the inside is if you've got something extra.
You are so clever.
And you are so cheeky.
And yeah, Adam Jenkinson having a look down there into Lodge, but not quite close enough to return the compliment.
Here's Lee. Well, I don't know where he's finding it all from at the moment. Brendan Roberts are way above everyone else. It's not as if everyone's a slacker compared with Brendan Roberts.
Not at all. I know coming into this race he wasn't that confident. Did finish on the Rossum, I believe, second here earlier in the year when Billy McConnell won, but he wasn't that confident. It's not one of his favourite racetracks here, and he said he really is going to have to kind of learn it as the weekend progresses.
He did indeed finish second last time out to Billy McConnell. 2 Australians here. That was at round 4, of course, here at Oulton Park. This is a second visit to Oulton Park. Look at Adam Jenkinson around the outside. Well, that was a neatly done thing. Can he pull it down tight? Yes, he can. Beautiful into the hairpin there.
Very clean move.
We got Michael Niblett with us. Like I said, Michael, this is hot at the top, just like it was for the Superbike race.
Yeah, this is Adam Jenkinson's home circuit, so he knows it like the back of his hand. And like you were saying, I spoke to Brendan this morning, and he's hoping for second at best, really, because he knows that Adam knows the place so well that he's going to struggle to keep with him. But he's going to try hard. He's a real hard rider, Brendan, but I think he'll use his head.
Connor Cummins still in third place at the moment from David Anthony, I think it is, who was our 6th qualifier. Oh dear me, he would be unhappy about that. Ian Lowry then
I've hit the front brake and then I lost the front end just going down the hill.
Wondering why he's not featuring in this race.
No jump starts, by the way, Neil. So no jump starts, even though it looked like 1 or 2 are anxious to dump the clutch.
Good news, we know these boys are keen off the grid. And Billy McConnell, championship leader, and certainly in a lot of people's opinion was the guy that was going to go on to win this championship, but he really needs to get recovered from 8th position, and certainly with these guys at front. I know Brendan Roberts has certainly got an outside chance of winning the championship, depending on where Billy McConnell finishes.
Adam Jenkinson is certainly looking for a win here today. There's no doubt about that. He's not
Brendan
had one.
down the inside there into Old Hall. Ooh, a little bit wide. Ooh, time to look back.
Yeah, take a quick look and just let him know he's paying attention.
Adam Jenkinson certainly looks calm, and you can see that he does know this track inside out. He's very calm. Real star last year, won 3 races last year at the beginning of the season, then it all went a bit pear-shaped towards the end, but having a look down there in into Ireland, but Brendan managing to keep the advantage at this point. But certainly a big gap between these two and third place man Connor Cummins.
Good on the brakes, isn't he, Adam Jenkinson there?
Yes.
Still looking for his first win of the year. He's had a couple of second places, of course. So Jenkinson here in front of his home crowd, and I know he was well, he was pretty keen for me to mention RP Bikes and Manchester Van Hire. They're the two firms that look after him, and of course they are allowed a little bit of sponsorship onto the side of the motorcycles here.
What I can never understand is he wears an RI helmet but AGV badges on his leathers. How does that work?
I have no idea. You tell me. You brought it up.
I think there is leathers that he was wearing last year when he was sponsored by AGV, I believe.
Well, he's wearing AGV beginning of the season, I thought, maybe. Very confusing. Oh, these leathers are not in good condition. Ian Lowry, what a shame. I mean, so unlucky. Front row qualifier, I'm sure he was up for a podium here, but unfortunately has to stand and watch.
Adam Jenkinson, fastest lap of the race so far as Brendan Roberts sticks it straight under him. 1:45.4 was Jenkinson's fastest lap, but Brendan Roberts, he just loves that pass into Drury.
And these two guys showing their hands to each other. Oh, Adam Jenkinson having a look down the inside, but Adam Jenkinson passing Brendan regularly into Shell Oils, but Brendan returning the compliment at Druids. But when it comes to the last lap, these guys are going to know where each other is going to attempt to pass him over.
Adam is awesome around into Shell Oils hairpin. I remember I was in qualifying last year and thought I was going pretty well, and then all of a sudden this grey set of leathers came past and it was Adam, and I thought he's never going to make it around here, but he did.
Well, I can tell you David Anthony is a faller at the Shell Oils hairpin. He's perfectly okay, but David Anthony, number 13, is out.
David Anthony, a rostrum finisher here earlier. He was third position here at Oulton Park. Another Australian.
So still Brendan Roberts fighting with Adam Jenkinson. Jenkinson with the advantage at the moment. This is the part of the track that Jenkinson certainly favours, especially on the braking area. Maybe that's because Brendan Roberts is a little heavier. Perhaps he just has to brake fractionally earlier for the Shell Oils hairpin. Any theories of your own?
Well, these two guys are similar size and I would imagine similar weight, and you just end up having favourite bits of the track that you certainly feel strong in, and maybe during practice places that you do practice passing, and certainly for Adam it works well. But Connor Cummins there, still in the picture there, number 3 Connor Cummins in the background, and Billy McConnell making a bit of progress. He's up to 6th position.
Still Tommy Bridewell in 4th place though. Keep an eye on him from James Rose on bike 28. So up over Clay Hill. So it's one of those battles where you can't really call it between these two, because this part of the track here, 42 Brendan Roberts, is so good into Druids. Look how he closes in. I don't know whether Adam Jenkins is a little slack going in there or whether Brendan Roberts is just so damn good.
Well, if it comes to the last lap, you've got to think Brendan's going to be having a look at Druids, but Adam's maybe going to try and keep the door closed. But on the brakes, Brendan in
up the inside, but a little bit hot, so under him comes Adam Jenkinson. Well,
he knows that doesn't work. But meanwhile, Connor Cummins is getting closer
as they keep tripping each other up, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So fastest lap of the race goes to Adam Jenkinson again as he crosses the line. 1:45.453. Let's take another look at this as they wheelie their way into the braking area at Lodge Corner. Brendan,
backing it in a bit there.
Great thing about it is though, there's no panic out of these youngsters, are they? They're quality acts.
No, Brendan.
It's only Rob Mack that panics when he sees us doing it.
Yep, another grey hair, but it's the only thing that keeps him slim.
And Brendan has squeezed in front again. Looks like he got a drive out of Cascades.
Connor Cummins there, he's catching these two by quite a long way.
He's going to mix these two up.
One thing to think about in this race is tyres are always an issue in the R6 race. They're from the off. Brendan and Adam were at it, hammer and tongs, and you know Connor Cummins is there taking his time. His tyres are going to come back to him towards the end of the race.
You better watch out. He's from the Isle of Man, and one of your major backers is from the Isle of Man.
Yeah,
he might be poaching the Mr. Trimby.
I hope not.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where Connor Cummins is thinking about a pass. Maybe right there.
Soon, I think, into his.
1 minute he's on the back of him, now he's trying to get through him.
And look at Tommy Bridewell, he's not far away in 4th. We know what he's capable of.
Comes down to what I said a little bit earlier on. Tommy Bridewell learning his way around here, inch by inch, lap by lap.
If he catches onto the back of Adam, he'll soon learn the way around here.
Oh, this is going to be
it's going to be 4 abreast. Just when we thought it was getting a bit strung out, suddenly the R6 cut, boys.
We never disappoint.
No, you are there to entertain, and it is your duty, and we expect. Oh, that's cost Adam Jenkinson a place. Connor Cummins slips through.
They don't come any closer than that. So number 9, Adam Jenkinson, nearly wiping the rear wheel of Brendan Roberts. Roberts.
And we're not even halfway through yet.
It's only lap 5 of 12, about to start lap 6 now. Up the inside comes Connor Cummins. Connor Cummins, even if I can get all the way in the right way. So Connor Cummins is through.
Tommy Bridewell's on the back of him as well now.
Wow.
Tripping each other up. You've got to watch out for James Rose on bike 28 as well, because he's closing in on this battling 4.
Yeah, this might turn ugly, I think.
Brendan Roberts having the big one. He's going to go from 1st to 4th in half a lap.
Out of the seat goes Brendan Roberts.
Nearly fell off the seat.
James Rose. Tommy Bridewell has the fastest lap of the race, 1:45.444. That is an incredible lap time compared with the race leader that was Brendan Roberts on 47.1. No surprises then if Tommy Bridewell is there or thereabouts through Britain's.
If Tommy Bridewell is making the same progress, Brendan Roberts could do a lot worse and just sit behind them and maybe get dragged along with him. There's someone else coming into the picture. Who's that?
That's James Rose.
James Rose. James Rose.
Yeah.
I think
you're not listening to me, are you?
No, sorry. Yeah, I was concentrating. There's too much going on at the front. I think James Rose was another rider who was down in practice. Obviously.
Well, as these guys keep tripping each other up, James Rose is just eking away all the time, putting in consistently 46s. 46.7 was his last, and that was his personal best. He's getting quicker and quicker every lap. So there he is, 28 James Rose is joining this quartet. We're only on lap 6 of the 12. So what about these tyres at Oulton Park, Michael? I mean, you race on them, they're good tyres, but they are road tyres, and at this pace, surely they are going to start to be...
Yeah, definitely, it's going to be an issue. Road tyres, especially Oulton Park, because a lot of the time you're carrying such heavy corner speed, and places like Druids, you're pushing so hard on the rear tyre. Towards the end of this race, they're going to... Well, you've already seen Brendan out the seat. That's going to be pretty common towards the end of this race, I should think.
Connor Cummins, great style. He's got knee down. He's another tall rider. So Connor Cummins, bike number 3, second in your picture on the red bike.
Difficult to call this one, but on past form, you've got to think Tommy Bridewell's going to get to the front very shortly.
Well, I don't think you're too far on for that, but I'm going to have a little bit of a sideways bet on James Rose. He's just put in another fastest lap of the race.
I'd say
45.294.
Very impressive. I'd say out of these 5, James Rose is, you could argue, is maybe the wildest out of the 5, but certainly fast rider.
All of the R6 Cup riders are wild. What are you on about, Neil?
I'll tell you what, though, it doesn't show, does it? I have to say that despite the fact they are young and they are wild. Yeah, I know you are, but it's I mean, even when they make a mistake, it just amazes me the skill and control that they've got of these road bikes.
Exactly, very consistent lap times, very standard bikes. They've got an exhaust pipe on them to make them sound a bit nicer, but standard R6 is still, they've got 120 brake horsepower and they're 160 mile/hour motorcycles, so these guys need to have skill. Whoa! Adam Jenkinson having a moment there.
That's his tyre going.
Yeah, well, that's what Michael Niblett did say. Nibbo here with us in the commentary position, but my money is still going on 28 James Rose, I'm afraid. He might only be in 5th place. That might have given him the kiss of death, but he has done a lot of work to get here.
Well, you get good money on him sitting there in 5th, but who knows?
Well, not normally me, Neil. That can be underlined.
There goes Tommy Bridewell having a look down the inside, but he's very calm. He's conserving his tyres. He's one rider that hasn't had any moments so far. Very economical riding style.
He's light as well.
He's light. Look at that. He's going to have a think about Old Hall as a passing place, and not quite close enough.
No.
Like we've seen at some other tracks, the heavier guys being at a bit of a disadvantage. I mean, there's not really anywhere where it's all about power, it's all about corner speed, which is, I think, something that's going towards riders like Brendan, and especially Adam, whereas Snetterton, it's a bit of a disadvantage down the back straight.
Yeah.
It's just, it's going to be interesting towards the end.
Anywhere where you're launching from a low-speed corner onto a long straight, you just carry that momentum. If you're a big, heavy rider, just ask Rob Mack. Remember his Grand Prix days. He used to have some great sector times in the turns, but the second he had to punch out of a low-speed corner onto a long straight, poor old Rob Mack caught the wind, and that was it. He went backwards.
Like drafting a Scania.
Drafted like a truck.
As I'm sure Neil did. There he is. There's the big
right
fella.
on cue.
Good afternoon, Mr. McNamee. Still leading, Adam Jenkinson on bike number 9. In second place now, is it going to be? No, I thought that was Tommy Bridewell that was going to make the second place from Connor Cummins on bike 3. Bridewell, oh, look at James Rose. He is riding all over the rear end of these guys now. I think my money's pretty well bet there.
You reckon?
Mr. Mackenzie. I do, actually, yeah. I quite fancy
I'll still go for Adam.
Tommy Bridewell is a smooth operator. I reckon he's the man.
Okay.
He's not panicking, he's not flustering.
So you heard it there at home. Ladies and gentlemen, there's 50p on the table, and I can't tell you how much that will hurt Neil if he loses it, but Neil is going for Tommy Bridewell. Michael is going, I think, for Adam Jenkinson. Thank you.
No one's picked Connor Cummins, the current leader.
No one's gone for Connor Cummins. Well, maybe Mike Trimby will.
Oh, Brendan Roberts. He went so tight coming on the start-finish straight there. Almost hit the barrier.
Oh, dear man, Adam Jenkinson again. Well, Adam Jenkinson does stand a chance of winning this, of course, provided he doesn't hit the rear wheel of the rider in front. And he is riding so unbelievably close. James Rose now in front of Brendan Roberts for 4th place.
Billy McConnell, championship leader, pretty much static in 6th.
Out of this league group as well, there's 3 of the riders that are still in with a chance of winning the championship.
Which ones?
There's 6 riders that have still mathematically got a chance. And of this group, Adam, Brendan and Tommy Bridewell.
Well, we just got rid of Scott Smart out of the commentary position. He's like a mathematician. Now we've got Nibbo.
I didn't work it out. This is Brendan and his mum worked it out in the week.
Well, I'm glad you had help and admitted to it. So then, back in front again is Adam Jenkinson, taking advantage of the slight mistake of Connor Cummins into... Oh, move over, everybody. Julian Ryder is in the building. We are joined by Julian Ryder in a moment or two, so you've got a little bit of extra commentary to listen to later on with our MotoGP star commentator. Good to have the old boy back.
I feel like I should leave the building here. I feel so inadequate.
Well, yes, that's in many ways, Neil, but compared with Al Jules. Lap 9 of 12 as we...
Well, Brendan Roberts might have a mathematical chance of winning this, but he's going to have some superhuman effort to get back to the front of this bunch.
Yep. He's trying very hard all over. James Rose in 4th place.
Around the outside doesn't usually work at Lodge.
The laps are clicking by as we come on to lap 10 of the 12 now. And I tell you what, Tommy Bridewell is experimenting with the odd line here and there, looking for the drive. For the wide line in and the fast line out on the way down Cascades, down the avenue and onto Cascades, I should say. Bridewell again on that tight line as we get to Cascades. Still, Adam Jenkinson leads from Connor Cummins on bike 3. 18 is Tommy Bridewell, 28 is James Rose, 42 Brendan Roberts. Into Island Corner, an awesome corner by any imagination. And then into the braking area, the Shell hairpin.
I think it's about to be Tommy Bridewell time. He's got to start making a bit of inroads into the front there. Adam Jenkinson looking good at the moment.
Now 50p's are going to go Nibbo's way. It's a worry. He's already richer than us. Through Britons. Up onto Hilltop and down into what would have been Knickerbrook, but is now the Hizzy's chicane, Hislop chicane, of course, and up the inside, Connor Cummins. Oh, I'll tell you what, that would have been a do or die if he managed to get under there. Still Tommy Bridewell 3rd, James Rose 4th. Brendan Roberts still in 5th place. Up Clay Hill now. It's getting a bit desperate at this point, Neil.
It certainly is. Adam Jenkinson, he's had a famine of wins, hasn't won any races this year, but been making steady progress. Was likely with injury last year, but we were big fans of Adam Jenkinson last year, certainly beginning of the season, but he's certainly back on form now.
James Rose right on the rear wheel of 3rd place man Tommy Bridewell, but still seemingly unable to make that kind of brakes on these bikes, Michael, at this particular point of the race. I mean, are they still with you? Are they still, you still got confidence?
As the race goes on, everything goes away from your tyres, brakes, suspension, because they're standard bikes, everything heats up. We've used performance friction brake pads, but even by the end of the race, it's more the suspension really, because all the fluid in the suspension's got nice and hot and not working especially well. So on the brakes is a bit more interesting towards the end of the race.
Sorry, Michael, Brendan Roberts managed to nip a place there just on the exit of Old Hall.
I think you're part Australian, Mackenzie.
No comment.
G'day. See,
I've never met a tight Australian though.
What about Wayne Gardner?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh, thank you for the reminder.
That took about a millisecond for
I take all that
me to think of him.
I can think of one, Dave Johnson.
Wayne Gardner reckons money's flat for stacking.
Adam Jenkinson is still your race leader, but he's got some work to do. Connor Cummins is right there.
Oh.
In fact, it is Connor Cummins that...
back marker in the mix
Connor
here.
Cummins has slipped back. Is he
Hope
going to
he's
go
paying
through at the
attention.
chicane? Oh! You're right, he was paying attention. Adam Jenkinson, if he tipped that in a little bit earlier, he'd have been coming.
actually cost Jane Rose maybe a potential podium.
Right out on the dirt there was James Rose as well.
Be interesting last lap.
Oh, Tommy Bridewell, right on cue. He knows there's 50p at stake as far as Mackenzie's concerned, and he'd never live it down. So through has gone Tommy Bridewell into second place, and we have got a lap and a bit to go here.
Roberts down the inside. Can he make it this time? Yeah.
Brendan Roberts in third place.
Rob Mack's going to have his head in his hands.
Yeah, not his hand in his pocket.
Not likely.
Still Bridewell. Whoa, dear me.
Millimetres to spare there.
Millimetres. I'll tell you what.
Adam Jenkinson, look, he's almost back to fifth. That's incredible.
Fastest lap of the race has gone to Brendan Roberts, a new lap record, I think 1:45.289. There it is.
That is well under that record. I think it's over a second under last year's lap record.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah. Brendan Roberts on bike 42. He's going to leave it till this last lap, but I'll tell you what, he's got a right old melee going on in front of him. He's going to look for a breaking point. If he doesn't... Oh, well, that's a big off.
It's Adam Jenkinson.
Tell you what, he was real lucky that he didn't get tangled up there. So Adam Jenkinson is out of the race. That is a spectacular off from Adam Jenkinson. It's just as we're looking at Brendan Roberts for making a passing manoeuvre into the braking area. There's going to be one down into Britain chicane. Up the inside he goes.
Tommy Bridewell's away with this one.
Tommy Bridewell out front, then it is. Bridewell in front of Connor Cummins. Brendan Roberts fighting for that third place now, but surely these two are away at the front. Tommy Bridewell, I bow to superior knowledge or luck
James
in
Rose
Neil Mackenzie's predictions. Bridewell, is he going to be able to hold it?
Brendan just got a beating up there almost from Connor Cummins, but he's come off the better. He's still in third.
Up and over the hill. 28, James Rose. It's my bloke versus your bloke, and it's all going to come down to the last turn, which is, of course...
Best just hand the money over, mate.
No, he's bound to try a move.
I don't think he's going to have the room to do it, so certainly it looks like Tommy Bridewell. It's the only time that I'm going to part with money to Neil Mackenzie today. Over the diddly comes Tommy Bridewell to take the race win. It's a well-deserved win. There's his brother Ollie. So Ollie Bridewell congratulates his brother. He's part of the Vivaldi cows. So Tommy Bridewell takes the race win. This youngster has got a big future in front of him. James Rose in second place, a new lap record and the fastest lap of the race. It's Brendan Roberts who came through in the third place with Connor Cummins in fourth. We'll be speaking with your top three in just a moment. Tommy Bridewell, just as predicted by Neil Mackenzie. I hate someone when they're as smart as Neil. Through he came from the back of the bunch to take the win by 0.2 of a second from my man James Rose. Brendan Roberts, the Australian, eventually finishing in third place. Good ride from him as well. Connor Cummins forced down to fourth. Mark Pollock in fifth place after the demise of Adam Jenkinson, of course, at Cascades Corner. Billy McConnell, the series leader, only sixth this week. Tom Grant seventh, and John